Hello, I'm Reverend Dr. Dennis L. Waters. I am the author of the book, I Will Restore. This book deals with individuals who have been physically, sexually abused prior to the age of puberty, and as a result of that abuse have lived a marginalized life. They've not lived a full and abundant life. As a matter of fact, most of their life they've been afraid of what has happened to them. There are places and times and moments where the life that they are living actually runs them back. They have flashbacks or hallucinations of what occurred, and it causes them to live a marginalized life, less than they are intended or capable of living. And so this book talks about the realization of how you can heal and move beyond that particular process. And as we widen the scope of the vision, widen the scope of the book, it talks about how any individual who has suffered any type of trauma, whether it's the loss of a loved one, or whether it's the loss of a job, the loss of a community, the loss of anything, any type of trauma that an individual can go through, these 12 steps, it is a 12-step process, and help themselves, bring themselves to the point that they can necessitate the change, bring about the change that they have intended to bring about and desire to bring about. So earlier we talked about the aspect of the 4 Ds: desire, define, divinely intended, and lived on the 4th dimension. The 4 Ds, the 4D life is what we call the abundant life that is spoken of in the Bible and in other spiritual traditions. So the abundant life, we're referencing the 4D life. And it's a life that's lived on the level of spirit. That's the 4th dimension that we're speaking of. Now, what are the steps that we're working with in regard to bringing about this realization that we're speaking of? Well, I call these steps, there are 4 processes that are involved, and then there are 8 steps. And so I'm going to mention the 4 processes initially. 4 processes. The first process is that you arrive at the point that you recognize and you accept. You decide that you are the person who is responsible for change in your life. You make that determination. You must desire the change that you say you want, desire to the point that you know that you must change. You absolutely will change. You must change. And so you make that decision. So the first one is that you take 100% responsibility for your life. You take 100% responsibility. If you don't want to take 100% responsibility for the past, then certainly take 100% responsibility for your life going forward. So the first step is to take 100% responsibility for your life. You are a victor and not a victim. You are not a victim. You decide what goes on inside of you. You decide what meaning you give to whatever has happened to you in life. You make that decision. You have 100% responsibility to make that decision. So the first thing is that you take 100% responsibility for your life. The second step is that you feel no shame. Feel no shame. Or another way of saying that is that you recognize that you are adequate for whatever the situation. You are more than enough for whatever the situation that may occur in your life going forward. You are more than equipped. You are more than adequate. You are enough for whatever it is that is taking place in your life. And you feel no shame. Shame is a feeling that something has been left out, that something is missing in your life. And as a result of that, you act in a particular way. So in this healing process, you decide that you feel no shame. Yes, what has happened to you has happened to you, but it does not define who you are. You are more than the experiences that you've had in the past. And then the third step is that you forgive everybody. Now, this may be a difficult one for many individuals, may be difficult for you, but the aspect is that until you forgive, it is difficult to give forth. It is difficult to let what is inside of you, like a flower that is unfolding and coming forth and bringing forth its beauty and its fragrance and blessing the entire world. Until you forgive, you cannot really give forth. And so you're forgiving, you're removing the toxins out of your life as a result of this forgiveness. Because when unforgiveness is there are toxins that are developed inside of you. They actually has a chemical effect inside of you. And so forgiveness relieves you of these toxins. You release them and let go so that you are able to give forth, so that you are able to live your 4D life. And then the fourth step is that you arrive at the point where you join or you form a beloved community. The reason why I speak of beloved community is because it is necessary that I found that it's necessary for an individual as they're going through this healing process, that they have a community that's willing to listen to them tell their story without judgment. Without judgment, it is a beloved community. Without making one feel guilty, it is a beloved community. And this is necessary because each time there's the telling of the story, there is a healing that takes place. You begin to go deeper and deeper and deeper, and again to realize that there's something inside of you that has not been touched by what has occurred, the experiences that you have had in your life. And so you go through the process of being in a beloved community so that you are able to tell your story to individuals who will not judge you or not talk about you behind your back. They are there to hear you, to love you, to know that you are more than the experiences that you've had in life, and that you have a divine future intended for you as you go forward. So again, those steps are that you take 100% responsibility for your life. First step, are you willing to take that step? Second step, feel no shame. You feel no shame. The third step, forgive everybody. In other words, love everybody. Yes, everybody. And then the fourth, join or form a beloved community. Be somewhere. Be at a place. Be with people where you can be real. And so that's the four processes that we walk you through the process, help you to be able to embrace this so that you can bring about the realization of healing from this experience of trauma, whatever the trauma has been, whether it's physical, sexual abuse, or any type of trauma, so that you can come forth and live the life, the 4D life, the abundant life, the life that you are intended to live. Bless you.